My name is Verlyn Britton, and thank you for tuning in to the Empowerment Corner. And today I'm going to talk about thinking big. And I know we've heard that so many times. You got to think big. You got to think big. But sometimes we don't know how to think big. We have been conditioned to think by what we can see and what we can touch and what we can achieve. So for example, when we get our degree, a lot of times we put our lives on hold prior to getting anything. So our lives go on hold until we get our degree, and then we can conceive that, hey, then I can get a good job, then I can get a house, la la la. However, the creator of the universe is very, very serious about his glory. So, and he needs us to be able to think big, because then through us, he can create big things. But in order for us to think big, we have to conceive it. We have to have what you call thinking time. A lot of great men, a lot of great CEOs spend at least a week, a year, where they're just spending time thinking about strategies, thinking about how to do things better, imagining how to do anything that they're desiring in. So thinking big is something that you have to spend time doing, because when you become so complacent, a lot of times you're not even thinking. You're just going through the motion. You're going through the motion. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, you cook, you eat, you go to use the bathroom, you take a shower. You just kind of go through the motion. But when you begin to think big, you actually have to begin thinking. So you gotta have thinking time. You gotta have quiet time. You gotta be able, we are spiritual beings. The more we can connect to the creator of this universe that can guide us and can show us the way, is the more we can become big time thinkers. Because, as I said, God is serious about his glory. He's very serious about his glory. And he wants his glory to shine through you. When I first came to Canada, not to America, to Canada, via, I remember just wanting to make $20 extra. If I can make $20 an hour, I'll be just fine. And then that wasn't a lot of money, but at that time I was, in my 20s. Oh yeah, $20 an hour, I would be just fine. And I don't even remember if it really transpired, because for one, I could have done that on my own. I didn't need any supernatural or alignment with the creator to help me make $20 an hour. But when I came to America and I decided that I wanted to make $100,000 a year in the first year that I was in America, and then later on, I remember thinking, I want to make $1 million. But and the moment I decided of what I wanted to make is the moment doors start opening. But it's like my imagination increased. I remember when I did my first apartment complex, I had just bought a 72-unit apartment complex in a low-income neighborhood where I can afford. And I had this mentor. His name, I shouldn't say his name, but I had this mentor that came to visit me in Jackson, Mississippi. And he said, why don't you build an apartment complex? And I thought to myself, me? Build an apartment complex? I couldn't even conceive it. But the moment he put that seed into me, because here I was wanting to make $1 million a year. The moment he put that seed into me about building, every opportunity that came my way, even if it was very minor, I saw it as an opportunity. I saw it as an opportunity to build. So when this banker said, you can build an apartment complex, you can do this, I was like, okay, well, how do I do it? And he told me this crazy way of go put an option on land and get an architect and come back to me. And okay, of course that did not exactly work. But the fact is, I was becoming a big thinker, and I was allowing things to come into me that before, even though I may have doubted it initially, because I was becoming a big thinker, I was thinking I need to get to $1 million a year. And that's not a lot for a lot of people, but at the time that was a lot for me. So I actually created by my big thinking, I built that apartment complex. And eventually $1 million a year was easy. It was attainable. I became a big thinker. And I'm becoming a big thinker. What it did was I saw opportunities when it came my way. I grabbed at opportunities when it came my way, because the reality is the rain falls on everyone, and we have to be able to recognize an opportunity when it's presented to us. But if we are not thinking big, sometimes that opportunity will come, it will be knocking on our door, and we will not see it. So begin stepping out of your comfort zone. Begin dreaming things that is in your heart, but you believe that you can't do on your own. Because the reality is you cannot do on your own. You need the creator of this universe to come in alignment with you and give you that power and give you that strength to make things happen for you. So begin thinking big and begin moving and begin seeing how things starts to line up, then the universe lines itself up with your thinking. If you like my message, please subscribe and don't forget to like and press the bell so you can get my new videos. Thank you.